Hello again, my people, and good morning on this fine Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. I just want to speak some of my thoughts on the stock market and crypto markets in general. As of today, we're approaching Halloween, as many of you know. My thoughts for quite some time now have been that the crypto would start to recover and we would experience possibly a bull run. I'd like to think an annually bull run when it comes to cryptocurrency, between the very vague and wide open guess of Halloween to St. Patrick's Day. Well, specifically geared towards around Christmas time, the 1st of January, New Year's, sometimes the 2nd and 3rd day of that month, interestingly enough, and then particularly Valentine's Day, that week leading up to and that week after Valentine's Day, in my humble opinion, will be roughly the peaks of a crypto bull run if we do experience one. Again, just my opinion. It's as good as y'all's. Your guess is as good as mine. Everyone do their own due diligence, hopefully, right, to come up with these opinions. History does seem to repeat itself. The rinse and repeat, the pump and dump. I would be looking out for crypto to make a run any day. Now, the one that I chose to invest my money on is Tectonic. You can purchase it on crypto.com. Higher fees, but you get your money pretty dang quick. Tectonic is up 35% in the last week, over 20% in the month. And if you were to look at it a week ago, those would be red numbers, the monthly and the weekly. So you can call it luck, and I can live with that. But anyone that knows me knows I've been shouting about Tectonic since the day it came out. Even after it fell from grace like all of them did. I believe Shiba Inu was like 30,000% up when it came out in April of 2021, and then got listed on crypto.com like May 10th or 12th of 2021. Yep, I bought it right when it was coming down off that hill. Watched it fall. And it's so funny when you go through these things and experience them, you get a real sense of what people feel, and you get a pulse for the sentiment of the market. And it's just interesting how people react. And I'll tell you what, it all comes down to where you buy in at. That's the whole key, And people don't have enough patience and understanding and clarity. That's why we panic so easily. I've got one troll. Thank God it's only one. I've got one troll that says I owe this person. It's a female picture, but it's like a boy, or I call it a boy. It's probably like an 18 or 19-year-old, like from another country. They say Venezuela on the thing. I don't want to ruin my day with too much details of that. My friends and family say to ignore that person. But the thing is, I take what I do very seriously. It is never financial advice, just like it says on my headlines of my video. That right there protects me from anybody's opinion about whatever, including my own. But when you're from another country, no offense, you might not quite understand how that works in this country. But yeah, I used to listen to a guy that gave me some terrible financial advice. Well, I heard him say it's never financial advice, and I couldn't stand him. So in that sense, I can absolutely relate. But let's get real. There's a difference between being misled, and there's a difference between being an idiot. Okay, I have one of my best friends that may end up watching this video, so I don't want to call him out by name, call him an idiot. But people will listen to you for so long about a stock, and then once that stock starts rising, they'll buy it and they don't understand how the stock market works. So they're buying at the top, and then it falls, and then now they're in the red holding a bag for a year. They don't understand how that works. Because if they did, they wouldn't talk crap to their some of their best friends. But as far as the troll says that they're down like 12 grand because they bought Bitcoin mining. I don't remember exactly how many shares he said he had. I saw a screenshot. It's like less than 40, but over 30,000 shares of Bitcoin mining they bought based off of one video. I've only made one video of Bitcoin mining. And what a lesson learned for me. And this person, I don't know if they went all in, but they sure went more money than I've ever seen in my life, or had in my life, in on it at like 64 cents, because the headline of my video had a question mark, maybe even an exclamation point with it, but it had a question mark whether or not that it was going to go over $1 or not. Now, this is a stock that should not be a penny stock. Any of us that know, a penny stock is defined as a stock that's $5 or less, or under $5. So you got a stock that's normally well out of penny stock range at the time of this video that I made in the past. I don't know how many months ago it's been, but it was 72 cents or something like that. And when I made the video, so whoever watched it, I guess if my video had any influence on their purchase, must have bought it at a dip that I didn't even see, because I saw their average was like 64 cents or something. I'm like, that's not a bad average. Well, Bitcoin mining has been down below 30 cents. I think it's like at 23 cents right now. So this person is tripping, talking about, I seen you at QT on some street or whatever. Makes me really wonder if they work at QT. But, obviously not true, because I wasn't at those places that this person claims to have seen me at. I would know if I was at the places or not. So, I got somebody trolling me, probably Google Maps, just seizing them, from Fort Worth, Texas. So they're like, we're going to troll him and make his life hell. And that's all fine and dandy, but what's not fine and dandy on a serious note is actually pointing your finger at somebody else for a purchase you made. When I pointed my finger at somebody I didn't like, here was the difference. I bought in a stock called Torchlight Energy Resources. It's about to make many people rich while I have none of it now, but I don't blame anybody for that necessarily, unless you know my story. Then you might blame somebody or two. But yeah, I purchased Torchlight Energy December 8th, 2020, and I bought it for 68 cents, and it dropped to 50 cents. And I was like, what the hell? And then it dropped to 40 cents, and I started losing my mind. That's probably why I have any patience at all to begin with trolls or with uninformed people, because I myself, never a troll, but definitely uninformed at one point. So that much I can understand and empathize with to a degree. But yeah, at 40 cents, I was just like, what the hell? And I had somebody on StockTwits talking bad. I mean, threatening my life, all this shit. I mean, I can't even begin to explain. I mean, it's all there. I've never erased anything on StockTwits or my videos. So, I personally don't have the patience to go through my own thing and look it up. I don't care. But somebody out there with all the viewers, and how everybody's different, how there's exceptions to everybody, people will care about things that I would have never even thought of. So you go ahead and look that up. But yeah, this guy was talking terrible shit. He was like supposedly some Marine from California that grew pot. And the conversation started, I don't know if it was through Torchlight or Sundial Growers, but I was an investor in Sundial Growers at first, and made some money off of it, buying it at around 15 cents and selling it at about 64 cents. And that was a good feeling, I was like, wow, man, no slot machine in the bonus reaches this feeling. This is nice, and whatever you want to believe or like or not like or snicker at. But I prayed for a couple days after my birthday for the right stock. And I came across Torchlight. I kept staring at it when I was scrolling through the list of just different stocks and different industries that I was narrowing down and looking at. And, read more information through StockTwits, which people can roll their eyes about all you want. I mean, people can be how they want. You still get information out of just about everything if you choose to, if you have enough brains to. So, information I got from StockTwits is that they were going to have a merge with another company, and I found that to be interesting. So I started going down that rabbit hole, and some months later, fast forward to March 2021, and then we've got Sterling Stocks making videos about the Torchlight merger. At one point, I figured he was a really good guy, and somebody I'd almost consider a buddy. We even used to joke up, not me and him personally, but I was kind of on board with that. When I say we, it was the whole little family. I don't take credit for what not to take credit for. That's the difference between being completely real and full of shit. But anyhow, we were all going to meet up after it was said and done, and we got paid the dividends, and the merger happened, and blah blah blah. Meet up in our Lamborghinis. Well, my issue with him was that, and he may have been just wholeheartedly speaking what he believed to be the truth, but when that merger happened, a lot of people sold way sooner than I believed we could, and they still got the dividends anyway. Okay, now that's the issue I have. But if you want to make matters worse, you can look at any YouTuber that talks about metamaterials, Torchlight Energy, MMTLP, and you can ask all of them to make sure you get the answer. Try that, right? Don't just ask one. Ask every single person that ever even thought to mention it. But yeah, that October after the June of 2021, MMTLP shows up in people's accounts, those that held through the merger. And people were confused and believed that that was their dividend. And then, of course, Metamaterials, the actual company, says, hey, wait a minute, we have nothing to do with MMTLP. And then John Berter, the Torchlight CEO or former, when it was Torchlight, he says that it had to do with hedge funds and brokers, getting together. He said specifically two people, whatever. Nothing surprises me anymore. He says it's because of... like a tradable term. It might have been the word tradable. I don't think it was, but it was on those lines. And because of that one little term in the paperwork, they were able to do that. The broker and the hedge fund, whatever, do that as far as put MMTLP in your portfolio to confuse you. And also, I guess, their argument, I'm sure, I haven't heard it, but I, use common sense, put myself in other people's shoes, unlike 99% of the people I deal with. Sorry, I had to on that. I had to take a little jab on that one. But no, it's just really amazing, the roller coaster ride that all the investors went through. And, the shaking out of the paper hands, the very much lack of transparency, the unprofessionalism that even Sterling called out on George Pallikaris for being late to meetings, and he met George Pallikaris in Vegas. He went that far to do that. Okay. I gave him so much respect for that. I always thought it was weird that, him and I used to talk, and we thought the dividends could be $5, $6. I think I one time told him $6.22 because my two sons, that's their two birthdays, 6th and the 22nd. And, I use them on the roulette wheel. So I just threw that out there to be cute, okay, if you can understand that. And he said that his was a couple cents off from that. But what he put out in public was $1 to $3. And he put it out consistently. This is Sterling, the first YouTuber, first guy to make YouTube videos that I know about of this merging situation. And he put out a lot of good information. I'm serious. I thought he did really damn well. Okay, definitely not a dummy. And then all of a sudden, it's just so shady. It's like he sold on top while he influenced people to hold. And in this financial game that is played against all of us, you look at GameStop and the battle between us, the retail investor, and the hedge funds. I mean, you look at it and you almost can't blame him. People have done horrible things in life for money. I mean, I've heard stories of people putting their children in garbage dumpsters. Forget what people just do for drugs. Everybody, it comes to their mind with what I'm thinking that people have done about that Dave Chappelle and Bob Saget movie. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't necessarily begrudge people for what they got to do, or feel like they have to do. But I just never been a fan of misleading people, and that's probably why I like this one guy called Right Brain Trader. I remember watching his very first YouTube video, and people criticized him like he wasn't giving out any information, or he was just blah blah blah. Well, Mr. Blah 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 owns more shares than most common retail investors, and Mr. Blah 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 had enough balls and heart to hold on through that ride. So I've got nothing but respect for Right Brain Trader. He's the one that says "glorious bastards." He's funny. I like him. He knows what he owns. He believes in what he holds, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's a good example. I like Terry Yonkers, a good example. Buy the dip. Well, he doesn't say sell the rip. That came to my mind. But same thing. Buy the dip, sell the rip. These things that are never financial advice. What they are is the best that us human beings that put our money where our mouths are can go off of. So there's nothing wrong with sharing information and learning. And I just wish that for people like the troll that I have out there that wants to point their finger at me for them losing money, I'm in a situation where I could not only point my finger, I could stick my middle finger up somebody's. I could be that mad about it, okay? Because I've struggled since that June 21st. I've struggled bad. I've made videos when I was homeless. I've had people criticize me and say, why are you listening to a guy that doesn't have $100 to his name? It was things like the conversation I had with my father yesterday, who's I haven't seen in some years now. The things I already know, but it's confirmation that I know that I am on the right path and I'm doing the right thing. He was like, you called it with that oil and gas. You called it with the tectonic. He's like, I look at my watch list, and the things you're talking about are the ones that are green. I'm not patting myself on the back, but it's true, and it's been consistently true. Like, I could have said what I just told you a long time ago before right now. But this conversation I had with my dad was just the other day, and it wasn't the first one he's had with me on this. Now, all of my business I don't put out online, so people don't necessarily know every little stock that I believe in or whatnot. But for the most part, I've let everyone know, what I believe. And I used to get on YouTubers' comments sections and tell them, what I'm looking at. And I always thought it was interesting to see their different responses and the different results from that. It looks like I'm having a little bit of audio issues, so I'll probably just do a part 2 to this video. Definitely more informal. This one here, I'll just say it was in general way to, bring you guys into my mindset for the day. But yes, good luck to all. I want to say except for the troll, because that troll is heartless. Every time I'm nice to him, boy. Wow, we just live in a brutal world with real ignorant people. And as far as me with Sterling, I don't hate him for what he did. He just said that we should hold till Monday, June, I believe it was the 29th. By then, most people had already sold and secured their profit. And I was sitting there holding for them special dividends until Robinhood took them out of my account. So that was no fun. I owed them money, and I had some Be Big, and I figured they would take out the Be Big and not those MMTLP placeholders. Sure enough, they took out the MMTLP. So that was pretty brutal. It's been hard to recover, especially knowing that a lot of people got rich off of something that, you should have got rich off with, them, especially since you found it before most. I'm going to cut this video off, and we'll make a new one for part 2. Just some food for thought for the day. Good luck to all. Until then, see you at the bell.